One way or another you will suffer in life, but you have a choice. You can either let suffering be forced upon you, or you can choose it willingly. Whether it's cold exposure, a hard conversation, or simply cleaning your room, lean into the challenge. Do something difficult every day and learn to celebrate the act of discipline, not just the outcome. Because willpower isn't fixed, it's not a switch that you can flip on or off, it's a muscle and it's trainable. The more you learn to sit with discomfort and make peace with pain, the more tenacious you become. And when life inevitably throws hardship your way, you'll already have roots that are so deep, you won't be moved. This is where Kaizen comes in, the philosophy of constant improvement. Every day is an opportunity to improve, even if it's only by 1%. It's not about becoming invincible, it's about becoming unstoppable. You're slowly building a mountain out of layers of paint. Something small like making your bed in the morning may seem meaningless, but it's a stroke of the brush leading to the peak of your mountain. Now, thinking this way is all well and good, but how does this mindset actually help us? Well, there is an area of the brain called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, or AMCC for short. You have two of them and they're located deep within the medial frontal cortex. Not directly behind your forehead, but towards the midline of your brain. The AMCC evaluates how much effort a task will take and compares it to the expected reward. It helps answer the question, was it worth it? And is heavily involved in the cost-benefit analysis of physical and mental effort. When you are doing something hard and want to stop, but choose to keep going, your AMCC becomes activated. Whether it's intense exercise, resisting temptation, or fighting through pain, it is the very structure that underpins grit, willpower, and tenacity. It is worth noting, however, that the activity you are doing must be hard specifically for you, not just hard in general. Say, I enjoy working out, so if I were lifting weights, my body would be active, but my AMCC wouldn't be affected. But let's say I had to tidy my room, then I think I would push my AMCC to the extremes of hypertrophy. Now, the AMCC is also crucial in detecting the conflict between what you are doing and what you should be doing. It helps with the distraction versus goal balance and helps shift your attention back to what is important. This means that the anterior mid-cingulate cortex is the seat of perseverance. It means doing things that are hard is actually training your brain to adapt to discomfort, building an unshakable way of thinking. So how do we put this science into action? Well, there's a concept in Japan called misogi. Now, misogi used to be the Shinto practice of ritual purification under an icy cold waterfall. But in the modern context, misogi is the notion of doing something once a year that is so scary or difficult that it has a profound effect on the rest of your year. This could be running a marathon, writing a novel, or even just asking out the person that you like. Misogi is seen as a way of achieving lasting success and happiness by stepping out of one's comfort zone and embracing discomfort, the payoff being significant professional or personal growth. Now, let me give you a real-world example of misogi in action, something that changed my life. When I was 17, I broke my neck. The injury required spinal fusion surgery, and as you can imagine, the experience was very traumatic, especially as I was training to become a professional athlete and acrobat. I had placed nearly all of my self-worth in my physical capabilities. The injury took me out for about 2.5 years. And thankfully, I was able to continue my studies at the circus school I was training at because the teachers already knew me and they allowed me to progress to the degree level training, even though I had to spend the first 2 years or so mostly on the sidelines, unable to improve and unable to train. I lost almost all of my strength, my mobility was severely limited, and I gained a lot of weight, going from about 75 kilos to just over 105 kilos. But in my third year, things began to shift. I found a partner to train hand-to-hand acrobatics with. Then, as if by fate, a new teacher who trained in Europe as a high-level acrobat joined the school. He took us under his wing and became a mentor and, more importantly, a very good friend. In just 7 months, we made real progress. I got much stronger and I got much leaner. Towards the end of the year, third years have to create their FMP, or final major project. This is a 20 to 30 minute performance done in front of a live audience. Now I had two choices here. I could play it safe and perform with my acro partner, or I could push myself even further and create a solo act. The safer option was tempting, believe me, but I knew that if I let fear win, then that decision might follow me around for the rest of my life. So I decided to make two performances, one with my partner and one by myself. Before my injury, I was confident on stage. I'd been performing since I was 6 years old in circus, theatre and piano. But post-injury at 20, I felt like I had nothing to show. My body had changed and my solo skills were almost non-existent. The idea of being alone on stage for over 20 minutes was quite frankly terrifying. But I did it anyway. The final performance ran for about 22 minutes. It wasn't perfect, it certainly wasn't a masterpiece, but I did it. And the sense of relief and pride I felt afterwards were almost indescribable. Suddenly, other challenges didn't feel quite as big. I had moved the goalpost for what was hard. Now I didn't know it at the time, but that act of courage was quite literally rewiring my brain for resilience. Now, almost 6 years after my injury and 3 years after my performance at 23, while I still deal with aches and pains and the unknowns of having a metal cage in my neck, I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. From 17 to 23, I battled with severe depression and drug use, but through mental grit and determination, I've managed to come out on the other side. Now I'm not just surviving, I'm building something, and for the first time in years I'm genuinely excited about the future. So what does this mean for you? It means that mental fortitude isn't just a virtue, it's a skill, a muscle, a neural circuit, and just like any neural circuit, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. Every time you choose discomfort, whether it's a freezing shower, a painful truth, or a terrifying leap, you are rewiring your brain to meet resistance with resolve. This means you're not just surviving, you're evolving. So do the hard thing and do it with purpose, because you cannot have a good character and an easy life, because the price for each is the other. Well, thank you for joining me at the start of what I hope will be a long and adventurous journey. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it thought-provoking, because someone has to, and it may as well be you. And until next time, remember this: one day we will all be stardust. So until then, you may as well subscribe.